Hey guys, today what I'm going to run through is how you can tag customers in Shopify using payment gateway tags. And then these tags then become available in Klaviyo to allow you to segment for campaigns and also do conditional splits in Klaviyo flows. Okay, the first step is that we need to install a third-party application called Customer Tagger. So we go Customize Store. We search for the app called Customer Tagger. And this is the application that we're looking to install. It's called Customer Tags and Segments by UnionWorks. Let's go ahead and add this app. Okay, so this is what the homepage of Customer Tagger is going to look like. So there's a few tabs up the top here, but the first one that we want to do is workflows. So we want to create a workflow. So a workflow is a series of events that happen, and they're based off a trigger, and these will automatically happen. So there's a bunch of different workflow triggers that you can set here. The one that we want is when orders are created. So this workflow will run every time an order is created. Workflow criteria we don't want to touch. We want to come down to this add tag section. We want to apply dynamic tags. So we click dynamic tags, and the tag that we want to attach to the customer's profile is the payment method. Add dynamic tag. Okay, so every time an order is placed or created, this workflow will run and will apply the payment method tag to the customer's account that has placed the order. So if they place an order through PayPal, their account or profile will be tagged with PayPal. If they place an order through Afterpay, their account will be tagged with Afterpay. Scrolling down, this is where we can remove tags. Down the bottom is scheduled removal of tags. This here is after a certain amount of days. You can also change this to minutes, hours or minutes. So depending on the use case that you're working on, you may want to remove the tags after 5, 10, 30 minutes or a few hours once you've used these tags in Klaviyo. Name this workflow. Call it YouTube test payment method tag. Cool, and it just summarizes it here for you as well. So workflow summary, when a new order is created, apply these dynamic tags, the gateway. So what we can then do is test your workflow. So before you set it live and start tagging accounts, you can test on a few past orders. So I've got a few sort of test orders that I've created on this test account. If you go test, it will run through and it will tag them. So this one we can see is bank deposit, this order that I created. So my account would be tagged with bank deposit. And then one of these will be tagged with a different payment gateway because I made them through a different payment method. This one here is PayPal. So one thing to consider is if you do have customers who place multiple orders within a short period of time, they will be tagged up with different payment gateway tags. So you can make a payment through PayPal, a payment through Visa, and a payment through Afterpay. If that's all within a really short period of time, you may have customer profiles that are tagged with different payment tags. Like I said though, you can schedule the removal of these tags added by this workflow. So this won't remove other tags, it just will remove the tags that this workflow applies. So let's run this one for maybe 10 days post applying. Great, let's go ahead and save this workflow. And this workflow is now set live. Okay, so now we've got two test products here, and I'm going to make a purchase on one so we can see that the account is being tagged. So before we make a purchase on this, let's go back to my customers. And we'll see here that we've got two customers, both of myself, just under different accounts. Let's go back to this account and we can see that I'm tagged up here already with bank deposit and PayPal just from previous testing. Let's remove those tags. So you can also manually remove the tags on a customer's account. Let's go save, back to customers, and let's just make sure I have any tags here. So I've got a PayPal tag on my other account. Let's go save. Great. And now let's go, we've got the workflow running in the background on what we just set up in the customer tagger application. Let's go buy now. Okay, so now what I've done is I have filled in my contact information and I'm going to purchase this test product that I've got on my site. I'm going to select bank deposit. You can also update this detail here to give a bit more information around bank deposit and the process. Let's complete the order. Okay, so now while my order is being processed, our application our workflow in customer tagger is now running in the background. Because I've paid for this order via bank deposit, or I've selected the payment method of bank deposit, my account's now going to get tagged with the bank deposit payment tag. So if we go back to customers, refresh this. Okay, we can see now that I've got 9 orders for this account. The last order was 40 seconds ago, and now my account has been tagged with bank deposit. Okay, so just to summarize, we have set up a workflow in customer tagger. That tagger runs every time an order is created. When the workflow runs, it tags the customer's account with the payment gateway dynamic tag, which you can see here. 10 days after that tag is applied, that same workflow will go and remove the tags that it has applied, but you can change that remove process and the time frame between applying and removing. Okay, great. So now we've jumped into Klaviyo, which is our email marketing platform. This is where we're now able to use those customer Shopify tags for campaigns and creating segments and lists, but then also in conditional splits in Klaviyo flows. So I'll show you how to create a segment of customers that have paid via a certain payment method. So let's create a segment. Let's call this one YouTube payment method. The condition we want to select is properties about someone. The dimension is right down the bottom. It's called Shopify tags. And these are the Shopify customer tags that we've just applied. You'll also notice that there is no is equal to operator here. This is because there can be multiple tags on a customer's account and it is a string value. So we need to make sure that we use the contains and bank deposit. It's really important that it's the exact same spelling and case as what the tag is. So if we had small case for the whole bank deposit, it wouldn't work. So we need to make sure that we have a capital B and a capital D. Now we go create list. We could also replace bank deposit with Afterpay if we did want to segment down on those customers that are or have used Afterpay as a payment method. Now we can see that there's one member in this list, which is myself, and that's through that order that I've just placed 2 minutes ago. We then can go and use this segment that we've created in a campaign. So we'll go create our campaign, select the list, create our email, and schedule that campaign. Another place that we can use that Shopify tags data point is in Klaviyo flows. So let's create a flow from scratch. And again, we'll call this one payment method, create flow. A use case that I've come across with using the Shopify tags data point in a flow is a client of mine wanted to send an email for those customers that selected bank deposit or cash on delivery as a payment method. They wanted to segment them out from their traditional post-purchase flow, as they wanted to provide them with a bit more information on how they can make that payment and also remind them about the payment. So let's set the trigger for this flow as a order has been placed. Cool. So when someone places an order, they'll be put into this Klaviyo flow. We then want to run a conditional split. So very similar to how we set up the segment, properties about someone, dimension. Here we will see when we go down to Shopify tags, it will change from equals to contains, dimension value equals bank deposit. Save. And that is how you use Shopify customer tags to segment your customers in Klaviyo. If you are interested, also, I have created a blog article with step-by-step guides in a little bit more detail, which you can follow along with this video. So I'll link that in the description also.